Oh, hello there, you lovely lot. Welcome back to another show here on Crafters TV. It is Wednesday evening here in the UK, which means, of course, it's time for Creative Cravings, that one show of the week where, I mean, it's going to be awesome for anyone that is new to crafting. We're going to take it back to basics, simplify things a little bit, but there's definitely something for everyone to learn in this show. Now, I know Jan was meant to be here with me. She was feeling a little bit under the weather, so we have got a super substitute live, direct from Carnoustie via Spennymoor. Craig's here in the studio. How are you, Craig?
Oh, I'm doing good. Yeah, it's one of those things that it's really good to be here, but on the other hand, it does mean that Jan's just been feeling a bit under the weather. She did say that in a wake-up call as well, with her voice and that. So seeing as Jan's got quite a far distance to travel, said, look, I'll step in. It means that she can get home earlier. So, you know, she's doing absolutely fine, just her throat and all that. She just needs that little bit of a rest. So yeah, so you've got me for the next couple of hours on this Wednesday evening here in the UK. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of the things that we've got coming up throughout the show. Now, many of these we featured within Wake Up Call. So we've got our cut, well, it's not our cut-in. We're going to be demoing our cut-in numbers shortly. This is our word dies. So a couple of them, both of them just say hello. You do get other words as well. That's going to give you an idea whether you want to do a style like that one or you want to do a shaker. But then what we've also got is the reveal dies as well.
Nice.
Now, if you did see Jan doing a reveal in Wake Up Call this morning, you'll have heard me say that I've never actually had a show with these. I didn't even have the product, so I'm really looking forward to having a play with these ones, so you can then do that full reveal. So that's one style. Here is another one. So you might want to pop it onto a card, or you might want to just pop it onto a smaller tag if you want to. That's up to yourself. But we do also have the cut-in numbers. This is actually going to be one of our first demos. It's actually going to be a relatively simple and quick demo to get us started on this Wednesday's Creative Cravings.
Amazing. Loads in the show for you. We're going to start off with those cutting numbers. Great deal on these for you, because what you're actually doing is you're getting the cutting numbers. This is what you're paying for, and these are so super versatile because you're going to be able to do all of those statement or those milestone birthdays, and also all the ones that you can't find anything for, you know, all of those more difficult numbers that are hard to find. These are going to allow you to do that. I think a great set of numbers are as imperative to your crafting collection as an incredible alphabet collection is. So that's what you're paying for. These should be $29.99 or $39.95 on their own. The cut-in sentiments, these should be an extra $9.99 or $14.95. However, you're going to get these totally free of charge today. So you're going to get happy, celebrate, birthday, anniversary, congratulations, and your ordinals in there. Check out the platinum price, under £24, under $32. They are fantastic value, and they do make gorgeous cards. I've got a couple more actually here just to show you. I absolutely love this one. How about doing things like your shaker cards in here? Paper piecing works beautifully with them as well, and you are getting the sentiments in there as well. So definitely grab those. I want to give you a heads up on some of the other stuff that you guys have already found over on the website and is proving busy. Craig mentioned it just there. It's the Reveal Windows Stamp and Die collection with 75 elements in here. You actually get the Reveal the setup, and in there you're going to get the main worker element plus some of the embellishing items. Then you get all the different themes within there as well. So you get Reveal the GIF, Reveal the Mighty Oak, Reveal the Feathers, Reveal the Bubbles, and Reveal the Butterfly. You get absolutely all of it within that collection, and a great saving for everyone there on that too. We also have the statement words. Now these are excellent. These make really nice big statement cards, whether you're using them as toppers, whether you want to use them as a sort of more of a card concept with the card and use them for things like your card blanks, you can do that. The other great thing with them as well is that you're buying the dies there. We're giving you the stencils and the stamps totally free of charge, for a great saving of almost £35 and over $45, which is excellent. You'll see those in more detail a little bit later in this show. We always have a hero tool, of course. It's a time limit offer. We only hold the price on our hero tool for 24 hours, and it is a project planner memento Memento Keeper collection. I've struggled with that all day, Craig. Now, it's not only one of these you're getting, you are getting both of them there. So it's a duo, which is excellent. $27.18 or $33.98 for platinum members. If you haven't seen our water reactive ink pads before, then my oh my, you're going to absolutely love them. The great thing is we've managed to restock on a lot of our ink pads. So we've got a lot of the all-time favourite colours back in stock. We've managed to put a 13-piece collection together for you here, which is excellent. And you've got a great saving. Craig's really excited to show you what these can do a little bit later in this show. If it's adhesives you're after, maybe you're new to crafting, you want an adhesive collection that's going to give you a little bit of everything, then this is it. Because in here you've got the 3D glue gel, the tacky glue, the all-purpose, the red liner tape and the low tack tape. So pretty much everything you need when it comes to the adhesives that we bring you, and we've given you a 20% saving on that as well. If you want to see everything else that's in the show, best thing you can do, as always, is head over to our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au. On the home screen, you'll see this video and then shop the show. If you click that, that will show you all the things that are in the show. There's so much we might not even get a chance to get to it all. If you want to get in touch with me, let me know what you're up to, let me know what you've been doing, what you're crafting, then you can do that. Come and have a natter with me. Crafters TV across on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button over there as well. Right, Craig, where should we start then? I love creative cravings. I love that sort of element that there's so many people joining us and we're all going to learn something together, which is fabulous.
We are, and just to point out as well, so throughout the show, Jan very kindly left me all of her demos that she's prepped. So I've had to look through them all, quite familiar with them, so just bear with me, certainly when it comes to that window reveal later on, because I've not had a proper play yet, but thank you, Jan, for leaving the demos for me. But what we're going to do with this one is we're going to make a very, very simple shaker card, and this is using our cut-in numbers. Want to show you how you could really strip it straight back to basics, use the numbers being the focus of your cards. So what I've got, Joe, is I've got a piece of our pattern paper from our All Occasions 12 by 12 paper pad, and what I'm going to do is I've cut this to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and that is going to go onto my 6 by 6 card blank. So we're going to pop that one in. That's then going to be my backdrop. Then what I've done is I've taken some of our baby pink Centura Pearl, and what we're going to do, just say for this one, this is one that I've prepped before the show because I want to show you how to do a very simple one. So once again, this is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. But what I've done is I want to have a very fine black outline because I just want that to make it stand out even more. So what I've done is I've not done my normal 1/4 inch matting layer, I've given it a really fine matting layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it like I would do normally. I'm going to add a good covering of tape. And then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to then die cut the number. This just means you could, if you wanted to, die cut straight into the Centura Pearl pink and then maybe gut underneath of your cardstock with the black. But do you know what? It's the Gemini, so I know that this is going to die cut our, well, Centura Pearl is, what, 310 GSM? Black card's about 300 GSM.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it?
It is a lot. And you know, I'm more than comfortable and confident in knowing that it's going to die cut both of them. So I'm going to pop a little bit of tape on to secure it, and then what I'm going to do is we're going to line and layer up as we would usually do. And even though it's going through 2 layers, there is that very slight part of me that's thinking, will I add my metal shim in just in case? But you know what? I've not done that. I'm going to let it go through, see if it does cut. Chances are it will. But I would always say try, if you feel it might need the metal shim, try without the shim first of all, then there is no worries whatsoever about having to pop it through again if you did need the shim. But let's take my die away. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, look at that, little bit of poking and prodding, but that's die cut. So I'm being careful when it comes to this bit, certainly in that corner, it's just catching and no more. So what we'll do is we'll give it a little bit of a helping hand. So even though this is cut, you decide for yourself. If you're doing this, if you want it to cut even better, then by all means add your metal shim. But it just does go to see that it does cut it out. These little feather bits, what I want to do is I'm going to take them away because I don't want to see them, Joe, because it is going to be our shaker. So let's bring in my scissors. And I'm going to trim that little bit there, and there we go. Happy with that. What we then need to do is we need to bring in some acetate. And as we always say, our double-sided tape runners, they will work an absolute treat. But anything like this, I would always highly recommend spend an extra few seconds, maybe just using your red liner tape. You know, that's what red liner tape's for. It's extra strong. It's for boxes, construction, and you know what, anything where you want it to be really, really robust, add your red liner. So I'm going to pop a wee bit into all these bits as well. And then what I'm going to do is pop our acetate on the top, and then we can start to layer up with some of our foam on a roll, and also we can add some sequins as our shaker.
Awesome. Loads of people tuning in and saying hello from all over, Craig. Who we got here? Let's have a little look, see who's joining us. Cheryl is in from Western North Carolina. Monica is saying hi as well. How are you today? I'm good, Craig. Are you good?
I'm doing really well, thank you very much.
I've got a bit of a wet bum.
You do have a wet bum, don't you?
A little bit, yeah. We had the rain was, I mean, it was incredible, wasn't it, the rain earlier, Craig? Like,
yes.
Unbelievable. And I left the windows half down on my car. So I just had to go around to the garage, get some fuel and grab a little bit of something to eat. And yeah, it's very squelchy in there, Craig. So fingers crossed it dries out a little bit. But other than that, I'm good. Debbie says hi from Washington. Lynn is in the UK. Barbara's saying hi from Indiana. Who else we got here? 4 holidays. It's a very rainy Florida today. Mary Pat's in Montana. Kate's in New Jersey. Susan's in Washington. Debbie is in North Carolina as well. Pamela saying you're such a sweetheart, Craig. Standing in for Jan. Yes, so Jan was meant to be here with us this evening. She's just giving her vocals a rest, isn't she, Craig?
She is indeed. Because she's in this weekend, isn't she?
She's back with us, back with me on Saturday, yes.
That's right, yeah. So yeah, it's better to be fighting fit for then. So I'm adding this in. Thing is as well, there's nothing worse when you've got a long drive when you're not feeling
No,
100%.
absolutely.
You just want home, don't you?
She'll be back with us fighting fit on Saturday. Yeah, Sarah's Creation says, is my car dry? Absolutely not, Sarah. No, it is very, very wet. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's very wet. Pamela says, I'm going to save the show because I haven't used these dyes, but I do have them. Perfect. Maybe you will be inspired to get them out after this show, Pamela. That's what I hope. Susan, talking about the reveals, says, we'll all learn together, Craig. So looking forward to seeing your reveal the window demonstrations. Crafty with Quilling Lady. She says she just sent some photos of the cards she made with students at school using the thanks die. There was an end of year gift for teachers. Oh, that sounds lovely. We'll try and show those a little later in the show.
Excellent. It's nice to hear that. What I've done here, in case you wonder, thinking, gosh, he's gone overboard with the foam, hasn't he? What I've done is you can keep it so that your foam is covering the number 4, which have gone round all the way round, making sure that into each corner it's butt up right to the other part of the foam pad. But then what I also want to make sure, I want to ensure that you see as much of the sequence as possible. So I'm kind of eliminating certain areas. So this part here, it's a blank area basically.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and eliminate the sequence going into that area. So I'm blocking it off. Kind of done the same here and down into the corner. So all the sequence will basically stay within this area here. So that's why I've gone to town with the foam on a roll. What you can also do as well, so the bit here, all the way round, try and ensure you use your foam on a roll because that is going to be the best for your shaker because you're going to stop any little gaps into the corners. But the surrounding bit, you can use your foam pads that are the same depth. It's just crucial that you do use your foam on a roll for around the shaker element. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with some of our silver sequins. So I will be cautious in a moment of where the sequence is going to be seen, but I'm going to get a good coverage into the centre for now. And then before I stick this down, I'm going to kind of hover and I'm going to make sure I get it as much as I can under the acetate. That way I know as well it's not being blocked by any of these little blocking systems that I've put in place. So happy enough with that. So when I'm happy, I'm going to line up, I'm going to then press. So make sure we press all the way around, press within the middle, then we're going to give it a little bit of a shake just to get the sequence going. Now look at that, jam-packed full. Well, it's not actually jam-packed full with acetate, with sequence, but because we've eliminated some of those areas, it means that you're not having to use as much and you're seeing as much as possible. So there is that one there.
And that's always a great tip, isn't it? You don't want to fill the whole thing full of sequins and then you end up with patchy bits. So absolutely, putting it in the right place, making all the difference. Everyone singing the Foam on a Roll song in the comments, Craig.
They're all
foam
singing
on
it.
A roll,
all
foam
singing
on
it.
A roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll. Hey.
Definitely, it's catching on.
It really
Eurovision song, I think.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No? Okay.
No.
Christmas number one?
Maybe Christmas number one. I think I might need a few. I think might need to work on the verses a bit, but I think the chorus is all there.
Yeah, it's there. I think we're in with a chance on that one. Now these dies here, this is where you've got congratulations, you've got happy, you've got birthday, and you've got the ordinals? Ordinals. Yes. Now I have already cut them out, but I thought let's just use our mini because the mini is the current Get It Got It Good this week. So these will go through the mini. Now just to say as well, if you were wanting to make a very slimline card or tag with the cut-in numbers, they will go through the mini that you can see there, but it would have to be a slimline one. But you can see here what I can then do, so that you can see, I know I've already got them cut, but they do all die cut just beautifully and perfectly. And then the other thing actually, I've just noticed that I've done on both of them, I've cut them in the same baby pink. Now I stick that on there, you're not going to see it, are you? What a silly Billy I am.
Oh, what a dipstick.
What a dipstick indeed. So what we're then...
That's what Debbie calls herself, but it really makes me laugh. I don't know why I find it so funny.
I don't know, and funny enough, it is something that I don't think it's just a Scottish term, but me and my friends and all that would call each other that at school.
Have you seen the lovely Debbie Robinson's Facebook today of someone's new craft room?
Yes.
If anyone saw the previous video of her old craft room, Debbie, the lovely Debbie Robinson, one of our craft experts here at Crafty TV. Yeah, if you're on social media, Debbie Robinson, Craft's Companion, head over there and have a look. Because what a transformation. I know it's a different room, isn't it? But still, what a transformation.
It is. Actually, it's funny you saying that because yesterday during launch party, we went to a VT and I went on to have a look at more comments, and because I was on Facebook, Debbie's video came up, so we're actually watching it in the middle of the show while there's a VT going. So we're able to say to everyone, after the show.
I'm going to text her after though and teasing her, asking if all the stuff in the old craft room is still in there.
Yes, I've not asked her that yet. I want to know what she's done.
My first question, is the old one cleared out now? We'll see. I text her after she posted the video, say it looks amazing. It does look incredible.
It does.
Susie T saying, I love the word dies, made a few boxes with them as gifts. The word dies coming up a little bit later. 5 cards and machine envelopes in a box. Great gifts. She sent a picture in as well, so hopefully see those very soon. Crafting with Quilling Lady says, I really like number dies. You can create so many projects, including boxes and cards as well. Loads of you sending us pictures tonight. If you want to send us pictures of things that you've made, things you've been up to, we always love seeing them. And the place to send them in to us is studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Details are just down there on the bottom of your screen. So yeah, send your pictures in. We'd love to see them, wouldn't we, Craig?
Exactly, we really, really would. Nice to see what you're going to be, or what you have been making, and how you've been inspired by. Maybe you've seen something, maybe it's us that you've seen, maybe you've seen something online. It's always nice to know how you get your inspiration as well. But by popping these ones on, I'm using my tacky glue that's in the little fine applicator. So I've done happy, then I've added the TH, so we've got fourth. And then to finish off, well actually, I think I might do one other thing after. Let's dab this one in to here. What I can then do is bring this one down. So I'm going to get the end where I want it. So don't worry about the start of the sentiment, jumping about. Get the very end. The end, believe it or not, the end is always a good way to start when it comes to sentiments and getting them in the right place, because it's a very good guide as to the positioning of them. So I'm going to press that into place. And they're very funky letters or viewers as well. So, did I say viewers? Numbers. You guys at home are funky viewers as well.
What did you mean to say?
Fonts.
Fonts, yeah, but it's still quite legible, which is always nice. Because sometimes with some fonts, you're like, what does that say?
What does it say? So, couple of little dabs of the tacky glue. Then what I'm going to do, again, using my pokey tool, but I've dipped it into a little bit of the tacky glue. Then what we can do is we can position them. So there's a heart, there's a circle, and then there's a pure heart. Here we go, we've got a star.
Does that dry clear, that glue?
It does, yeah. Crystal clear. So you've got no worries about it being seen.
And that was in that selection of adhesives that we had on the show for you as well. So you will get that in there if you are going for it, which is awesome.
There we go. There is, you know, a relatively simple and straightforward shaker card. So other than the mats and layers I did already have prepped, we've just done that live for you, part of the cut-in number. So that could be 4. Let's be honest with you, how many of you have been able to go into a card shop and see a number 4 that is a shaker card?
No.
How many of you even been able to see a 21st, which is a popular, but a shaker card?
Well, I mean, shaker cards, how many shaker cards do you find in the shops? Generally,
exactly.
Not very many.
Yeah. So you've got all them, and that could be all your odd numbers and ages as well.
Excellent. I think they're amazing. At full price, they're amazing. But the fact that you're buying the numbers today, and then we are giving you included, totally free of charge, the sentiments and the ordinals as well. So you get happy celebrate, birthday, anniversary, congratulations, and the ordinals. You're getting these dies free when you get them in this configuration right here. $29.99 or $39.95 if you want to get those. We're getting really busy on that particular selection. Something else I'm going to share with you now, we'll see them a little bit later in the show, are the statement words. Now these are fantastic because I think they are fabulous because they're just a little bit different. There's something a little bit out of the ordinary that you're not going to find out there. I love the fact that you've got the ability to either create these as a card blank, as a concept in their own right, or snip away and have them as a topper. There's nothing to stop you doing that. Use them as a large word die. You've got hello, friend, thanks, love, and happy in there as well. So they're the words that you're getting. Now, that's all you're paying for. You're paying for the dies themselves. The usual price of the dies, $80.95, $90.75. We're going to give you everything I'm about to share with you totally free of charge, which is awesome. So you're going to get the star stencil. You're not going to pay for that. You're also going to get the zigzag stencil in here. You won't be paying for that. Guess what? Circles.
Really?
You're not paying for that either.
Gosh.
See these ones, the leaves?
How much is that?
Well, you're not going to pay for them. Totally free of charge. And the hearts as well. You get all the stencils included.
Wow.
And then we've actually given you the sentiments which were curated to go with these words as well. So a whole host of different sentiments in there. You can mix and match them to curate your own individual sentiments as well. Awesome, awesome value here for you. Saving over almost £35, over $45. Platinum members, $64.76 or $72.60 is your price there on those. Do not miss them. The stencils as well are designed to work beautifully with the words, size-wise. They also will work in their own right, and you can use them to emboss as well. So they are really super useful, those. I'm going that away because I want to share with you the reveal the window. Now what you're actually going to get in here is the main mechanism itself, which is going to enable you to make that awesome sliding mechanism that's going to reveal what's underneath. You are then going to get all the different die sets that go with this as well to enable you to create awesome projects. So you're going to get reveal the gift, reveal the mighty oak, reveal the feathers, reveal the bubbles, and reveal the butterfly. The great thing about this as well is you can also use other things that you might already have. If you've got stamps in your stash that are sized relatively similar to this, use those. I know a lot of you in the past have liked to use your photos and your pictures. Absolutely, those can be used with this as well. So loads of different options when it comes to how you're going to use this. A brilliant deal for you as well. $38, $36, $51 one for platinum members. Everyone though getting that great today's price, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's see what you're up to in the comments. Amanda Floors just hit gold. Congratulations. Just ordered a bunch of stuff. So happy. I got papers, glue and some kits and some ink. Can't wait for my stuff to arrive. Mariah said I just did a cut-in number card for a 50th birthday. So fun. Mariah, send us a picture. We'd love to see it. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk if you want to send us any of the things that you have been creating. Right, I want to share with you this week's Get It, Got It, Good. This week's Get It Got It Good, of course, is the incredible Gemini Mini. This mini yet mighty machine. What you're actually going to get in here is everything that you would usually get with the machine. However, we're going to give you a free carrier bag, a free carry case even, not like a plastic carrier bag from the supermarket. That wouldn't be a good freebie, would it? No, you're going to get the free carry case included in there. That carry case as well, of $12.99 or $15.95 off the top of my head, but a brilliant little machine to have if you are on the go or you just want to do things very, very quickly. Then something that you're going to be able to use really well, and you'll be surprised the amount of different dyes that will fit through there as well. Right, reveal the window is where we're going to go next, Craig, I believe.
Yes, let's have a look. So we're going to go and have a look at this in a moment, and we'll demo it with what Jan's left me. But let's have a look at what it actually creates. You've got a number of different effects that you can be doing, but we've got the little birdie, which is actually what we're going to be demoing, and it's got the little love mail there. But if you pull up the tab, what you've then got is that little message, which it actually says, "I'm thinking of you." So you've got that reveal. So you can do them onto a small card. One of the other one that we've got is the champagne. So if we pull that up, hey, the champagne's been popped. Look at that.
Nice.
We've got the celebrate within that one. Then on this one, we've got the parcels. So again, even things like the little tab as well as the stamp, you get all that included. So we've got our little present, could be a big present. Hey, look at that. Open it up. You've got the balloons, you've got the banners.
They're so fun, aren't they?
They are so fun. Another one with the birdies that you can see here as well. So you've got a few different ones. Have I got another one that I'm not showing? No, not yet. But let's go back to the champagne glass one. This goes to show how you can go really big and really different with it. So you can then pull it onto a bigger card. Keeping in mind, you're not going to be doing this back to front and left to right like I am. But look at that.
Amazing.
Cool. So whether you want to start small and then go big, it's very simple, Joe, to add these to a large 8x8 card. Couple of mats and layers, and then put the window reveal over the top. Very simple. So what we're going to do, let's dive in. Now, if you're just joining, what I would say as well is keep in mind, because we are literally waiting to do this together. I've never had them on a show before. I've not got them. So thankfully, I was paying attention to Jan this morning. So we're going to go through this together and see what we can come up with. I say come up with. I've got a finished result that Jan's left me. But we are going to go in with the worker die. Now, this one being the worker die, you also get within this set the little birdie stamp set that I've been showing you. So this one comes included with the reveal setup. So this is that one there. So what we're also going to do is let's bring in some of our white smooth stamping card. And to cut these together, you're going to need your large Gemini. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that actually Jan suggested this morning. Instead of changing my machines about, what I'm going to do is I'm still going to use my Junior, but what we'll do is once we've cut part of this one, Joe, part of the bottom's not going to die cut. Right. So we're going to flip it around and we're going to send it through again. Okay. So if you don't have a large die cutting machine, please do not worry. You can still use these.
And this could be the same if you were using the MIDI, I'm guessing.
Exactly, yep, absolutely. If you're using the MIDI, that will work a treat as well. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting it so that I've got more than enough. So that's going to cut into this panel here. And then what we also need is the other part, which is this side here. And I'm going to cut that to the right size. Now, I know it's a given to most of us, but if you do use your large Gemini, then you can cut both these layers at once. But again, the reason I decided not to is I thought what we'll do is we'll follow on with what Jan explained this morning to show if you do have a smaller machine, never has to be just the Gemini. These are wafer thin dies. So size depending on the machine, these will go through every single die cut machine on the market. So you've got not to worry about that one. So what we can then do is take this one out of the way. So moving that. And we've got these little tabs. These got little crisscrosses at each edges. So I can set that one to the side.
I'm right in thinking, Craig, we get instructions within each of these as well.
We do indeed, yeah. And you actually get them in every single pack. So it's not as if you just get one within this reveal setup, which is actually here. you actually get one in each pack. So if you were to mislay it, then don't worry, you've got more than enough. Do what I do with things like this. If I get more than one, I take it apart, take the staples out, and I laminate it, Joe.
Okay.
And I just pop it in a little folder.
Excellent. Great idea, that.
Got that one good to go. It is one of those that I'm told that once you've done it once, maybe twice, that's you going. It all just kind of falls into place. And you go, yep, I know what I'm doing now. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to secure it, because once I've die cut one side, I don't want it to move. So I'm going relatively close to the top of my junior plates. And as we can see, it is hanging off the end at the bottom. So we're going to die cut it as normal. We're going to feed that one through. So either, of course, the junior, I'm just letting it go. If it is the midi, exactly the same. You're just going to wind it through till it's die cut, and then take it out the folder, turn it around. Basically, exactly what I'm away to do now, but it's in the folder base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this one up. I want to make sure that it's still all in place, hence why I have taped it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around, and then now I can then start to cut this top part. That will mean once I've done that, the whole thing's going to be cut, and it's going to be cut using a smaller machine.
Excellent.
So,
good to see that you can still use these on a small machine. I'm just thinking about how these would work. We talked about in the earlier show, Craig. Great for something like tags, going to be wonderful for that. I'm thinking great for interactive elements on things like memory books or your scrapbook pages as well. Something that I guess you can get a lot of use out of this. Yes, yeah, you're going to get a lot of use. Because we were coming up with a few ideas this morning on Wake Up Call where, you know, I was thinking gender reveal card. Yep. You could be doing that, because what you could actually do is you could make two, one a boy, one a girl, and then give that to the lady that does the scan or that, and then it might be a gentleman doing the scan.
You know, it might be a gentleman. Yeah, I know. I have to be correct nowadays, don't I? Might be a gentleman, but then just ask them to pop the relevant one in, whether it's the boy or whether it's a girl. So gender reveal. You might want to create your own, so you could stamp something or handwrite it. You could have "Will you," and then you could get down on one knee, and when they go to do it, it could say, "Make me a cup of tea." Yeah. Nah, you know, it would say, "Will you?"
Could be an invitation invite. You know, like a picture.
Absolutely.
Could be a marry me.
Could be marry me. Yeah. Could be anything like that. Could just say empty the
dishwasher.
Photos as well. I know Sarah, actually, when these first launched, so I know Sarah, when she launched them on HSN, she'd done a couple with the boys, with photographs, and then I know she'd done another couple on Crafters TV, so you can always go back on YouTube.
Absolutely.
She shows you how you can incorporate photos with them.
Yeah, she uses her Canon selfie, doesn't she, a lot, which is perfectly sized, I believe, for this particular size. So if you've got one of those size, if you've got something similar, one of those little mini printers, then it will definitely work with this.
That's it. I've got the, oh gosh, it's not a brother one, I can't remember. But yeah, I just Bluetooth pictures to it, and it comes out in basically this sort of size.
Excellent.
So it's handy, really, really handy. Now what I'm going to do here is we've got little score lines on each side. So I'm going to make sure to give them a really good burnish. And then what I'm going to do is then I'll show you this bit here. So I'm going to pop this top bit into this little tab at the top. This is a little slot. And how it then works is then each of these overlap into that bottom bit. So that one overlaps, let's just slot it back in. It is easier if you have it slotted in. So that's going to overlap into that one. That's going to overlap into the second one. That third one's going to overlap. That fourth one is going to overlap. We get them straightened up. So straighten these ones up, and then what will happen is then if you then start to pull up, let's get them in the right way, Craig. So let's pull this one out again. So let's start that one from scratch. So I think I need to do that side into there. So let's just make sure, there we go. So there's number one. So I want to make sure as well so that they are tucked at that opposite side. So that's what I didn't do a minute ago. So then we're going to cross them over. Oh look, I've missed one. What a silly Billy. What a silly Billy. Let's take it out again. And I had it as well that time.
Did you?
I did, yeah. I just miscounted. So tuck that one in.
So you just have to tuck each one in the slot, just take them and just follow them down one by one?
Yep, one by one. So then when we come in, we've got our little slider, he says. Let's get that one. There we go. So we need to make sure. Ah, there we are. Is that it? Right, there we go. That one into that one. There we go. I think, Joe, do you know what? Can we go to you for a minute?
Yeah, sure, I'll give you a second.
I'm not wanting to hide anything. You can see I'm just needing to fiddle about. So once I get it properly working, come back to me and then I can show you properly what you're needing to do.
Oh, made sure he can't hear this. Perfect. Terry says, my anniversary tomorrow, so I made my husband a card using the happy word dies and stencil. I'm glad he still makes you happy. How long's it been? Terry, do let us know in the comments. The measurements for the reveal the window dies are, I'm sure it says it here on the box. Oh, that's the size of the dies. I'll get Craig to measure one of the finished projects for you in just a few minutes. Deborah says, I still need to see Debbie's room. How do I watch? Debbie Robinson, Crafter's Companion. That's where you'll find her, Deborah, over on Facebook. So make sure you head over there and you'll have a little look. Mariah said she sent her picture into us as well. In fact, do we have some of those pictures we want to take a look at? Amazing. Let's have a little look at a few of those then in that case, because I love it when you guys send pictures into us. Karen Fisher sent in the creation that she spoke about this morning in the wake-up call. This is awesome. The Father's Day machine. Look, and then you pull the little tab up. Oh, look at those fur babies. How gorgeous are they? The Quilling Lady sent us in this one. These are all the cards that she made with those statement words, which is fantastic. So you'll see here all the different ones she's made. Is this a whole other bunch as well? Wowzers. Check out this next selection of them that she's made here as well. Absolutely awesome. Love those. Susie T from New Orleans sent us these ones in as well. The thanks here, as you can see. Susie's been really busy, not just one picture, but two there, which is awesome. I love those, Susie. Love that you've used those stencils included as well. Sue Maguire's been busy. She started her Christmas crafting, which is awesome. Been doing a lot of stamping and colouring there, which is fantastic. They look gorgeous, Sue. Alison's been using that incredible gnome collection as well, which is fantastic. Really love that. So many of you loving that as well. How you getting on over there, Craig?
Right, I think I've got it sorted. Now, I was actually on the right track, but because I've not got it all stuck down, that was what was catching, because I hadn't stuck it down. So I've got it to the point where it's doing that.
Awesome.
So how I done that was, let's take it out again. So popping it back in, as I'd done before, I just need to make sure that the right hand side is tucked in as well. So we're tucking each of these ones in, there. Look, I've done it again, I've missed the top one. Gosh. There we go. There we go. So let's pop that one in. And in a strange way, I'm kind of glad this is happening.
Right.
Because many of you at home will always comment and saying, how, you love our demos, how quick we come up with the ideas and that. It just goes to show that sometimes I'm not going to say struggle, but sometimes we just need to spend a little bit of time just working things out.
Jen says it's so nice of Craig to pretend to make a mistake to teach us better.
Exactly.
How nice is that?
How nice is that?
He's just all giving, isn't he?
There you go. So we've got there. So again, that's catching only because I've not got it stuck down.
Okey-doke.
But you can see there is the concept of it there. So it's that one that's sticking. So we can see you've got the idea there. There we go. So that's how it is. So then what we're going to do, let's take that one back out because we actually want to stamp onto these. So I'm going to come in with the stamp set and we've got two. Well, you've got more than two, but you've got two which are going to be the window reveal. So we've got this one here. It's got the little birdie and he or she is holding the little love letter. Then we've also got this other one where once we've done the reveal, what will happen is it will reveal that it's opened the letter and it says, I'm thinking of you. So this one pretty much goes bang center in the middle of this worker die. Then with this one here, what it does as well, so you can always go back and tune in to Wake Up Call and see how Jan's little tip is to work out where you want to go. But with this one, what I'm doing is I'm coming up maybe about 1/2 inch from the bottom. You don't want it too high up, otherwise you're not going to get that full reveal aspect to it. Jan explained it in an absolute perfect way on Wake Up Call, so I would recommend going back and having a look at that one. So what I can do with this one is I'm going to stamp that one into place. Now I am going to, thank you very much Georgina, if you are wanting to double check the way that Jan explains it, it's around about 38 minutes into Wake Up Call today, roughly, give or take, yeah. So what I would do, I've already got some coloured, but I would be using our alcohol proof ink pad like I'm doing now. So as I say, this one can go pretty much bang centre in the middle. So let's position that one in and press. So what we can do is hold that. So we've now got a little birdie holding the mail. Then what we can do is we can come in with this next one, and then with this one we're going to pop it on. We're going to stamp once again. Then we're going to bring in this one here. So once again we're going to then stamp a little bit down. Let's turn it the right way. So we're going to come in to this one here, and then once I've got it into position, I am then going to stamp it out, and then we're going to press. So we've got our 2 images here. So we've got 2 of them side by side. Now what I've used, I have already coloured a couple in. So bringing these ones in before, and of course it's Jan that done this one for me, she left it. We used the ice grey, pale pink, we used the muted brown, aqua blue, hydrangea, dull green and light yellow. That's tri-blends that Jan used for this one. So let's move this one into here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back in. So let me actually fold and burnish these corners here. So we're going to fold and we're going to burnish. We're going to fold and then we're going to burnish as well. Score lines already done in the card for you, so you don't need to worry about any of that. We're going to fold that and then fold that. So here we go. So we're going to come back, let's pop that within the middle, and then what I'm also going to do at this stage, I'm going to come in with my red liner tape. I'm going to come in with my real thin red liner tape, which is about 3 millimeters, Joe. And if you do have red liner tape, please don't do what I do and stack them like this.
Okay, why they stick together?
They are uber sticky, and they stick together and they can unravel if that happens. So to avoid that, a little bit of grease-proof paper if you want to, or the back end of the foam pad sheets, that's a good sandwich to use.
I think we need to start retailing the backing of the foam pad sheet on its own in its own right, Craig, because this is like your top life hack, isn't it?
It is.
You know, these people that go around to, these super cleaning people, it's always white wine vinegar and bicarbonate of soda. Everything that, all of Craig's top tips usually centre around the backing of foam pads, I've come to realise.
Yeah, always having it. I always remember, you'll actually maybe remember this as well in your past life. One of the crafting experts, Dawn Bibby, she used to go around and she would put anyone that was chucking out full sheets of cardstock that didn't use in their demo, she would take it because she didn't want to waste it, which kind of like the sort of thing I would do. But yeah, I'm like that with the backing of the foam pads. It's like, oh no, that can come in handy. I'm going to use that. Going to use that.
Going around the studio bins collecting them.
Yeah. That's my sort of
style.
Why not?
Why not? Terry's letting me know that tomorrow will be her 21st wedding anniversary. How lovely is that? And she sent a picture into us as well. I will try and show that a little later. Laura O'Donnell says, Craig, you're just showing us that we all go through a learning phase. Absolutely we do. And Susie T says, yeah, Anna made the envelopes too for all those cards. Susie T, you are a crafting machine, my friend.
Well crafting machine. Absolutely. So now what we can do is we can go back. We can tuck these ones in once again. So tuck these into here. So what I'm going to do is, let's get this last one in. So I want to make sure I've got them all into position. So I think we're pretty much good to go. Now what Jan done as well within the wake-up call, she gave you a little tip about adding a little bit of red liner tape to the bottom. And actually, tell you what, let's follow our lead and let's do that. It's always good to take others' advice on the team. So I'm going to do that. And I'll explain that just in a moment. So what I'm going to do is fold this back on itself. And what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich that back layer. We're going to run it all the way down and press. And then what we're going to do is the other side as well. So we can get that tucked in. And then we can press. What we're going to do is follow all the way down as well. And then by popping that little bit of adhesive tape at the bottom, that stops this from potentially falling out the bottom. It just catches it. And then there we go.
Awesome, Craig. I love that.
So see how it was purely, yes, obviously I needed to come to terms with how it works, but see how it's all about being stuck down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to show you in midair, but now that it's stuck down, you've got the birdie, you lift up, you've got the thinking of you.
So cool, aren't they?
They are
Such
really
a clever
cool.
concept.
Such a
Imagine I want to have one of me with like a miserable face.
But you could do that if you wanted to.
And then as you pull it,
And then, yeah, like,
it's like happy.
surprise.
Yeah, maybe
You can
so
do
cool.
all of that sort of stuff that you can do. Now what I'm going to do is we're just going to finish off just decorating, so we won't take long on doing this bit. But this one here, you've got your decorative die here. Now what that one then does, that creates that outer decorative frame. But what you would also do is you would also use this inner frame as well. So that's what's going to create the window so that you can then see through. So let's go in with our, do you know what, I'm still going to just use my tacky glue for this one. So we're going to go in. So let's go in. And I know that within this one, well actually in all of them, what you get is you get a stamp that says pool. What I've just noticed right now is you even get a die that die cuts out the letters P-U-L-L. Even that's really cool. I just thought it was a stamp that you got where it says Pool Me, but you've got a little die as well. So you've got these additional decorative ones. So what we can do is pop that one in all the way round. Then what Jan's already done as well, she's die cut this one here, which is the top tab. So we're going to fold that one over. We've already got the score line. And then what I'm going to do is add some adhesive to the back. That is then...
Sue Richmond says, dusting the side of the red liner tape with talc or baking soda stops it sticking apparently as well.
Yes, sorry, that was the other one I meant to say as well, yeah, if you've got anything like that. So if you've got a little pad, you know, for your embossing powder, anti-static pad or that works as well.
Ah, top tip there.
Works really, really well. So here we go. So we've now got our little worker. All I need to do is either stamp or then die cut the word pool. But what we can do is we can pop this onto a card and then I'll show you Jan's finished decorated version.
Amazing. Susie T says, I love you, Joe. You make me feel like a rock star. You are a rock star, Susie T. You're a crafting rock star. That's what you are. Getting very, very busy on this. Remember, for that price there, you are getting the worker die itself, which has some of the embellishing stamps and dies in there for you, and all the other little extra bits you need, like the pawl and the frame that sits on the front. But then what you'll also get is all the other extra bits. You get the reveal the gift, reveal the mighty oak, reveal the feathers, reveal the bubbles, and reveal the butterfly. So it really is a complete collection for that price. A brilliant price for everyone with a great saving. Platinum members, less than £40, just over $50, which is an incredible, incredible deal. If you don't already own these, I would say this is definitely a deal worth snapping up. If you want to place your order, now's a great time to do so. Head on over to the website, craftscompanion.co.uk.com.au, hit that shop the show button there, you'll see absolutely everything we've got for you in the show. Love the colour tones on this, Craig, and love how pretty these are as well. I know they're fun, but they can also be very pretty too, can't they?
They really, really are. I love the colour tones that Jan's done with this one. And what I'm going to say as well, because bless her, Jan, she was kicking herself after the show, because the one that she done on Wake Up Call, it was catching, it wasn't working.
Right.
And what it was is because she had to look after, and she'd put where I put that thin red liner tape,
Yeah.
where she put hers, it was catching on the
catching
worker at the
mechanism.
back. So that's why, if you are using red liner tape for that, it's a really good idea to use the 3mm one if you can, or maybe a little bit of the tacky glue. You don't need much at all. So I just wanted to explain that, because I know Jan, she was kicking herself after, because she couldn't work out live what had happened. But it was actually simply
Bless
down
her.
to a little bit of adhesive. So if you do go back and watch, that's what Jan had worked out at the end. That's what had happened.
Awesome.
But there we go. So there is what I've done using Jan's prep. So again, I'm going to go this way. It's easier for me. So you can see you've got the birdie with the little love note and pulling up. And Jan's finished version is exactly the same. The only difference is she has stamped pull me at the top. So there we go. We got there. We got there.
Great, and so much fun. I think something really fun that you're going to have to go at, and also something that's really versatile. Yes, it could be a tag, it could go onto a card, it could be a small card, you could have a couple of them on the front of a large card if you wanted to. Think about memory books, also putting them in your scrapbook pages. They are something that are super fun. You're going to find a load of different ways to use them as well. Remember what you're getting in there. You're getting the reveal the window that has the little bird in there as well. Then you're getting the 5 extra embellishing sets of dies in there as well. Amazing value for you. Very, very busy on those already. Laura says these definitely have a wow factor to them. They really do. Now, keep sending your pictures in to us. We had loads of pictures in. Should we have a little look at some of those? It's lovely when you guys send us in things you've been up to. Look what Hilda's done, Craig.
Oh my gosh.
How amazing.
That is spectacular. That's very similar to a craft along that Debbie Fisher done. Wow.
I think this might be from Saturday's Craft Along, this next one as well. Both of them equally stunning, I'd say.
Oh my gosh, these
Beautiful.
are fantastic.
Karen Ebling's been busy as well. She's done one of the Reveal the Birthday, or Reveal the Presents collection that we've got here. Reveal the Gift, that's the one.
Yeah, now I don't know about you, Joe, but that to me shouts out a kiddie's birthday party.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bright colours with the balloons, love that.
And it could have underneath, rather than the open present, it could have the details of the birthday party on, you know, where
Absolutely.
it's going to be, what time. There's loads of different ways you can customise and personalise these. This next one, you're going to love this, Craig, from Lindsay, because this was inspired by your Wednesday monthly project that we did throughout July.
Lindsay, thank you for saying that. And I didn't actually realise when Georgina and George tell us we've got pictures coming through, I didn't actually realise there was one of these ones. I love that.
And we've got this one just here as well.
Oh, look. That's fantastic.
How amazing is that? I love that.
So good. Actually, just to say as well, Joe, I meant to say this morning, there was a comment asking if I'm going to be doing any more. Yes, I am. So not too long to wait. It's going to be within August, but we're going to be doing something else on a weekly basis.
Excellent. Keep your eyes peeled for that and your ears open. Mariah talks about that 50th birthday she'd done. I love this, Craig, using multiples of the happy birthday to almost create a background and then using the 50th as a cutting element. That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, she's followed my technique. I'd done that something very similar weeks ago with our interchangeable sentiments. Die cut the sentiments in black, created my background and went round with the ice grey blend. Classic or tri-blend. That works so well. I love that.
Yeah, really great technique, that one, Mariah. Mickey and Minnie featuring in this next one here. This is the card that Terry said she was creating for her husband for his anniversary.
Look.
That looks awesome. Love that you've the stencils. Stencils on the craft look really nice, ready craft, Craig.
That's so good. It's just, yeah, the colour tones and that as well with Mickey and Minnie. Absolutely beautiful anniversary card.
Awesome. Right, I can see lots of you with very full baskets over on the website. I'm going to give you an opportunity to check out. Whilst you do that, here's how you can shop and all the details of Club Inspire.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can get the best deals and shop while you watch during our shows. The best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. So head over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV Home, where you can see all of our shows, plus exclusive offers, and even shop while you watch. Now, if you want to get involved and comment along, you can head on over to our community pages. Come say hello, ask us some questions, and chat along live with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even airplay our shows direct onto your big screen or stream us live through YouTube. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easier to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
What are you waiting for? Make sure you join the club. Now, what I want to share with you is a hero tool. Now, this is how it's going to come to you. You are going to get 2 of them though. It is your Project Planner and Memento Keeper collection. They are fantastic because they are really good quality. Did you hear that?
I did, yeah.
What was that? Was it like a motorbike or something?
Don't know.
You get a really good quality binder in here, and also all the pages. So this is how it's going to come to you, and then what you're going to do is you're going to fill it full of amazing stuff. I may have the remnants of a Twix in my mouth, yes, Georgina. I mean, I don't think anyone noticed until you just pointed it out. I might have had a casual bit of chocolate under that very short piece of video there. Anyway, let me share with you what you've got. So on the actual page, on the actual hard shell of the binder themselves, you've got these 2 different pockets. So on this side, what you've got are these nice long slit pockets, kind of like a 6x12. Don't know if you can see, can you see also, they've got a nice deep gusset on them. Now I do like a deep gusset. You can see there, that means you're going to be able to get things like gems in there as well. If you want to put things like your little pokey tools in there, maybe some rulers, you can store these in here. I think the great thing about this is it's great for a whole use of different options. So maybe you're storing collections in these, or maybe it's sort of your work in progresses, your projects, your whips. Was it that happened earlier? Was
Maybe
was it
actually.
that? I thought this was a motorbike passing. Turns out it was just this. Now, the other great thing about this is that these pockets, they're hollow on the inside. So let me just show you. So see how they're hollow on the inside? And what that means, you can actually store 12 by 12 pages on the inside of there, which is brilliant. And then you get the large 12 by 12 page on the outside. This again is gusseted, so you're going to be able to get a lot in there. The other side here has multiple different compartments and different sizes for you. So brilliant if you maybe use a lot of like the hunky-dory topper kits that we bring to you, and often you're left with just a few toppers in each one of the pages. Take them out, store them in here. Again, you've got this central part here. You're actually getting 3 of these in here, so 3 of the pages. Then on the back, you've also then got a really lovely deep gusseted 12 by 12 pocket here too. These sort of pockets are great for if you have our 12 by 12 pads and you're down to the last few sheets, pop them out, put them in here. If you buy your 12 by 12 pages separately, pop them in there as well. Whether you're going to use it for storing collections, whether you want to use it for your projects that are currently in progress, I think it's excellent. The other great thing to notice as well, maybe if you are going to store projects, maybe you've got something like a signature collection, and what you want to do is you want to store all of your papers, any projects that you've got on the go, but then you also want to store the dies and stamps that you're using as well. Take this, if you've got our A4 magnetic or acrylic stamp or die holders from our wallets, you can actually pop those in there because that's just a standard spacing on a 3-ring binder as well. So think about adding things to this as well as using it as it is. The other great thing as well, it's got the elastication on the end there, so it's all going to stay all nice and together. The great thing about the elastication is when they don't have this elasticated bit, Craig, you know what happens, don't you?
Yeah.
They get really heavy, then they sag and they end up falling over. So with this, keeps it all nice. No one wants a saggy binder. Keeps it all nice and together. You can label these on the end, so if you want to have a collection of them on a shelf, you can do that. All of the Tiffany products that we bring you are really, really ingenious. This is exactly that. And the great thing is, you get 2 of them for this price. Amazing. So you can get 2 of them for that price. Yeah, you get both of them.
Wow.
15% off. Under £28, under $35 for platinum members. You get both of them.
Genuinely didn't realise that.
Really, really great, awesome quality. Perfect if you're a scrapbooker or you have a load of projects that you've got on the go. A really great way to store everything. Let me come around and show you these as well. So we've had a restock recently on a lot of our ink pads, and that means we can bring you now some of these larger collections that you haven't seen for ages. And what we've also got, that was the last of that Twix, I promise you. And what we've also got are some of your favourite colours back in stock as well, which is amazing. So let me take you through here, because you've got some of the all-time favourites in this one. You've got baby blue, fuchsia, the grasshopper.
Joe, can you go back?
Grasshopper.
Back.
Fuchsia.
Yeah, that was it. I want you to go back to the future.
Ah, back to the fuchsia. That's worse than mine. I've never seen. Did you just think of that?
Well, do you know, so I have to be honest, because you're all going to be shouting at the TV screen. I done that one last night as well.
Ah, did you? Did you think of that?
Who was it? Yeah, me and Ben. Yeah. And I was quite proud of it, because when it comes to things like that, I'm not very quick when it comes
Craig,
to stuff like that.
I think that was amazing.
A good one, yeah.
Honey pot, you'll also get in here as well. What's going into in tonight? You'll also get the lemon tonic, Oasis. You will get the ocean blue, which is this one just here. Orange, pale fig, pink tulip, sandstorm, seal brown, and of course you will get the spring meadow in there as well. £50 or $70. Platinum's down to £40 or $56. Really, really great value. Saving 20%, which is awesome. That's a real deep discount when it comes to core products like our amazing ink pads. For anyone that's never seen these then before, Craig, what are they going to do for us? How can we use them? I don't know. I think a lot of people, maybe especially when they're newer to crafting, when I first started working within crafts or became aware of crafting, I thought ink pads were literally something that you use to put ink on a sentiment and then stamp it out. That's literally all I thought it was. But these couldn't be further from that, could they?
No. So just to explain, so we actually have 3 kinds. So the ones that we've got on here is a nice little bundle with water reactive. So we've got quick dry, and that does exactly as it says. That's good for stamping your sentiments, maybe starting to stamp your images that you're not necessarily wanting to colour. To say it's uber quick, it is uber quick. You stamp, you rub, it's not going to smudge, and that's good for doing, your stamping when you're moving your hand, etc., etc. I'm going to jump to our pigment. Now, our pigment ink pads are really, really good for getting an intense blend, an intense build-up of colour, but really, really good for doing your heat embossing, because it stays wet and sticky. So what that just does is that means it's going to cling to any of your embossing powders. Then we've got our water reactive. So I want to keep this quite simple in the way that I've explained each one. Water reactive, these are going to give you an incredible and easy blend. Colours that maybe sometimes you've had issue with in the past, sometimes that you maybe get the sharp lines when it comes to blending. The way that Leanne in product development, and if you didn't already know, although Leanne's in charge of product development, Spectrum Noir is her baby. That is hers that she came up with and worked with the guys. So with this one, it really is super easy to get a blend when it comes to these ones. But being water reactive, you can do lots of water techniques, which we'll do in a moment. And I thought what we can do, and thankfully Georgina and Joe agreed, thought we'll do a little segment where we can actually use them and show a few things which you can do with them. So that's the basic as to what is each set are for. This is the water reactive. Now what I'm going to do, because this is a perfect opportunity to show you this as well. What I do, we also have our blending pads, so it's either it says square, it's actually rectangle. But we've got square ones.
I wonder why it's a square when it's a rectangle.
No, I don't know when it is a rectangle.
Someone just asked me, Kimberly says, was it right Twix or left Twix? It's both Twixes now, they're both gone. Sorry, the other one's just gone as well. Both equally delicious.
Milk or white?
I saw the white Twix in the garage today and I didn't pick one up. I don't know why.
Oh, Yeah,
Twix.
the white one for me tastes very similar to white chocolate millionaires
Millionaires.
cake biscuit.
Millionaire shortbread.
Shortbread. Yeah.
Delicious. Anyway, enough about my
I know,
chocolate.
chocolate. What I could do with a white chocolate Twix now. So yeah, so we do have either a rectangle or we've got a circle. Now this is purely down to personal preference. There's no difference between them apart from the shape. It's what you feel easier doing. Now, as I was just about to say a minute ago, this is the perfect opportunity to explain what I do if you've not seen this in the past. Now at home, I've got maybe about 8 of these. And then what I have done, for water reactive only, I have got 1 each of all of these blending pads. So what I do is I have taken what is a Velcro or hook and loop, whatever it is that you want to call it, and then I have taken the rough side. So what I do, and this is for my water reactive, not my quick dry or my pigment, just my water reactive, I put the rough side underneath, and then what that does is that enables your blending pad to stick to it. So I have one. I invested in a number of packs of these refills because you get 10 in a pack, and each of my water reactive has their own sponge. It's a nice way to keep them. They'll still store in the trays if you've got them, but it's a nice easy way to use the same ones over and over again. In saying that, Joe, you can wash them in warm soapy water, let them dry thoroughly, and then you can start to mix and match. So you can do that, but I thought it's a good time to explain how I store mine. And then the other thing that I'm going to do at the moment, let's do a little bit of blending with a couple of colours. So I'm going to go in, let's go in with Oasis, let's go in with Fuchsia, and let's go in with Honey Pot. What I'm also going to do as well, if I can ask George, are you able to zoom up a little bit so you can see the top of my glass mat? What I like to do, Joe, is so that you don't find that your ink pad is skidding about or you're even having to use 2 hands. What I do is the ones that I use, I put at the top of my glass mat, and then I ink by pulling down. So you can see my ink pad isn't moving, it's staying into place, but I've got a really good hold of the ink pads at the top. And then the other thing that many years ago with the other ink pads out there that are a water reactive style, we were always taught to kind of go at a 90-degree angle onto your glass mat or craft mat, and then start in circular motions, and then come onto your cardstock. And by doing this, this gives you a nice seamless blend, and it does. But what Leanne wanted is she wanted an ink pad where you can go direct, not have to worry about having any harsh lines, being able to blend them out no problem at all, and that's exactly what you can do. So I'm going to reapplicate by inking. It's pure habit, Joe, that I dab onto my glass mat, then go direct. It's just something that I always do, but you can see here, dabbing again, and I'm going straight onto my card. I'm not starting to gradually come onto my card, I'm going direct onto my cardstock. And then what will happen is any little harsh lines that you start to see appear will then disappear because you're blending them out. So we can then come in.
I'd love to know at home who's tried our water reactive ink pads as well and what you think of them. Let me know. My box was empty then. Did you see that, Craig?
I didn't actually, no.
Yeah, my box came up and I was gone. Where do you want me, George? There, here, okay. Hey! Get back in your box, Remblance. Right, what was I saying? I'd love to know who's got these, who owns them in the comments, who's tried them, what do you make of them? Let me know who has got them, because I know they are, I think I'm right in saying they're our biggest selling ink pad out of the whole range, Craig. So someone is asking as well, who was it who was asking a moment ago in the comments, what do we mean when we talk about finesse ink pads?
So finesse, they're the ones that you're going to do for something you want to colour in, you're going to use our Finesse. So for instance, our Finesse alcohol proof.
Hideko was asking this.
Right, so our Finesse alcohol proof, what you're going to do is you're going to use that ink pad. Now there's about 4 colours, Noir Black, Pebble, Rustic Brown and Flagstone. So with the Finesse alcohol proof, what you're going to do is you're going to stamp with that one, and then that's the one you're going to use to then colour in with your alcohol markers, your tri-blends, your classics, your illustrators. When it comes to anything you want to do with your water base, such as your aqua pens, sparkle pens, you're going to be using the Finesse waterproof. So think of the Finesse as I can't remember if it was you or Ben the other week explained it in a really good way. That's what's going to stamp out the image, and then it's going to allow you to do the colouring. So you use the right one, you're not going to get any blending out, you're not going to get any bleed lines. The Finesse are to actually do the detailed stamping.
Excellent.
Then you're going to colour in with your relevant ink pads.
Mariah says the water reactives are awesome and versatile. Susie T says, I love the water reactive ink pads. I have the full collection. I like to make backgrounds with them. Trish saying I have quite a few and love them too. So yeah, brilliant. Great they blend so well. I love the amount of techniques that are able to be achieved with them as well. I think if you're looking for one ink pad, Craig, that's going to do a lot of different things for you, this surely is them, isn't it?
It is, because when I explained the ink pads before, I didn't want to overly complicate it for maybe anyone that's relatively new. But with the water reactive, you can also heat emboss with it, because they do stay wet. Now, I don't mean soaking wet, but if you pour embossing powder, it's going to stick to it. What that also means is just be careful with any of the oils that are coming out your hand, because if I turn this around now, when I start to ink this side, if I put my hand down, the oils or even the sweat within my hand, that's going to lift some of the colour.
Okie doke.
So what I always do is I always go in, it's usually a bit of scrap card or kitchen roll, and use that to lay my hand on to stabilise it. But with this one, what I've done is I went round with the honey pot, then I started to build it up so you can get lots of different depths and tones with the one ink pad. But then what I've done is I did go and bring in the orange, and then I started to build up the colour on the outside. So you can see we've got a seamless blend there. But then what I'm going to do is let's go in with the Oasis for now.
Some people are asking if you had an issue with harsh lines in your blending, how would you remedy it, Craig?
So to remedy it, what you would then tend to do is the first thing that you initially think that you're going to do, really layer up your pad with ink to try and eliminate it.
More chance of getting a better blend.
Exactly, it's kind of the opposite. So add very little ink, and then by adding very little ink, what you're doing is you're not kind of concentrating the full image, which can actually intensify the harsh lines. So go back on a little bit of ink at a time, keep blending out, and then what you'll find, it will start to blend out that colour or that harsh lines that you are getting. So little and often, as we tend to say with a lot of things.
Excellent. I hope that helps. Laura Fair saying I started with a couple, then went back and bought all of the Spectrum 9 ink pads. I think the water reactive ones are my favourite because I love making backgrounds. Jeanette says thank you, Craig, for telling us what to do with each type of ink pad. Bought lots last year and honestly hadn't a clue to do with each one, so many thanks for that. That's what it's all about, and that's what Creative Cravings is all about, isn't it, Craig? We're all learning together.
Exactly.
I think actually even the most experienced crafters can watch our Creative Craving show and still pick up hints and tips. I think everyone's learning the whole time. And the great thing is about crafting, Craig, I guess there's not really any right or wrong way to do it, is there? As long as you get to a point at the end where you create something that you're happy with, then, and you've had some fun, then you've done it correct, really.
That's right. That really is right. And the thing is as well, and it's what I'm so proud of with working for the company. For instance, heat embossing. We can come at you and say, you must use the pigment ink pads. You must use them for heat embossing. Now, don't get me wrong, you'll get an incredible result with the pigment. But we understand that, for all the ink pads, it can be a considerable cost. Then sometimes some of you, depending on what's going on in the world and that, you can't always stretch to another full set. So we'll come at you and say, you can do heat embossing with water reactive. So if you've got water reactive and you think, oh, I'd love to do heat embossing, do you know what? Try it with your water reactive. It's going to work, and then as you get a good result, if you feel, do you know what, I love this, I want to get an even better result, then you can then maybe consider treating yourself to the pigment ink pad.
Absolutely.
So it is a really good one to start off with. But I've gone in with the Oasis. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to go back into the colours that I've done with the honey pot, and very similar to kind of like your alcohol colour where you're blending in. So I've done one, I've done two, and then I'm going back to blend that one in. So we're then going to go in, blending it in. And this is what I mean as well. So I've only done one dab on, so I've got quite a light coverage, and then I'm going to go back in.
Oh, I can really see how that makes a difference there.
Really makes a difference. So yeah, try and go in very lightly to start with. If you go heavy-handed with a lot of ink, you're going to intensify the harsh lines, and if anything, you're actually going to cause more harsh lines. So
excellent.
We can go into one last colour. So I said fuchsia, didn't I? So we can go into, going to go back to the fuchsia for this one, and then dab in. Again, this is just something that I automatically do. It's kind of like a habit. But then we can go in, and then what I'm doing is I'm going to lay that colour down, and then you can see we've got a few little harsh lines. But what we can then do, start to blend them out. And what will happen as well is once you're happy with this, if you want to do a little bit of faux bleaching, as if we are about to do in a moment, you know, you don't have to do it instantly. You know, if you want to create your backgrounds, have them ready, go for a walk, have a cup of tea, have your tea, then come back and do your faux bleaching. You can do.
Okey-doke.
So once again, now I'm going to go back into the Oasis, and then I'm going to blend them in. So we're going to create a really nice backdrop. So we can go in once again. So that was Oasis, just dabbing that excess off. And then we're going to go in. And then what I'm going to do as well, let's go back to the fuchsia here. That wasn't on purpose, by the way. That wasn't on purpose. And I'm going to
Scott.
intensify the edges here.
I've only ever seen the Back to the Future film one of them.
I've only seen the first one.
So we have this thing in the UK, not had them recently, obviously, because of everything that's going on, these things called secret cinema, and they basically recreate a movie. You go and watch a movie, but it's immersive, Craig. So I went to the Star Wars one, for instance, and they recreated the village from Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
Like with food stalls and bars, and there were stormtroopers everywhere, and they like recreated that whole scene, and then you watched Star Wars essentially in an old, it was kind of in like an old power plant, and like certain fight scenes were happening on the screen,
right?
Like they're happening like with Darth Vader like above your head in this like thing. It's all really weird. It's like film meets reality. But for Back to the Future, they created the whole of the town square of Back to the Future.
Oh, wow.
And the cars whizzing around the outside, explosions. Amazing.
Yeah, I remember years and years ago, it was when it was called MGM Studios in Florida. They had like the Hollywood backlot kind of like tour. And one of them would go through that part is at the church in Back to the Future, or the City Hall that's got the
City Hall
that was actually used.
So they're basically the secret cinema, they had all of that, like a complete replica. They even had like a fairground, you could go in all the bars, like the American Diner, all the shops were there. It's quite amazing.
That's fab.
But that's the only reference I remember. Great stuff.
That's so fab. I love stuff all that. Thank you, Tracy, you absolute legend, yeah. Bringing us a cup of tea.
I also went to the 28 Days Later one. Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, I think even I would be a bit on edge with that one.
Yeah.
Now here, you can see how I've blended these three colours in together here, and it works an absolute treat. Could be any of the colours that we've got within that bundle. Now what I'm going to do is I've got one of our Spectrum Noir spray misters, and all that we've got is water. And what we're going to do is what we're classed as a faux bleaching effect. So you can either spritz on direct, which I've done there. I know you can't see anything at the moment. Or what you can do if you want bigger blobs of water, spritz onto your hand and then flick. And then the longer you leave it, the more that the water is going to lift the ink from your cardstock. So already you can start to see it's starting to lift. That's what's called faux bleaching. Now for this one, I should have pointed out, I am using watercolour card for this. So that is going to be a cracking one to use for anything like this. So what we can then do is, what I'm going to do, so that you can still see it, I'm going to move it just there for a second so I can clean up this ink. What I'm also then going to do, flicked it on the floor, flicked it on the floor.
Oh no,
Oh no, oh no.
no.
So see how that's starting to resist. Again, the longer I leave it, the more it's going to lift that colour up. If you want it to stop after a certain point, what I like to do is either using kitchen roll, blue roll, whatever you've got, layer it on to lift up that excess colour. Or what you can sometimes do, if you've got a real strong bold colour and you've got a lot of water, what you can then sometimes do is go in with another piece of card, and then any of that excess, now there might not be a lot of colour on this one, because in general actually, I didn't use a lot of water, believe it or not, but if I come along, so you can see there's not loads on there, but you can see, one, that this is subtle, but you get the idea. Instead of lifting it up with kitchen roll and then binning it, you can do it. But do you know what you can do as well, Joe?
What's that?
Keep that, and then when you do another technique, use that again.
Build
Do
it
another
up.
technique, use it again.
Great
Build
idea.
it up. You'll then be left with your own little bit of a background. But then what we've got as well, now we have got our own distressed backdrop that you can see here, where I could have gone more heavy-handed with the water. If I want to go back and add more now, go and do it again. You can see here lots of techniques, and very, very quickly for this one, I just want to show you masking tape.
Oh, I love this one.
I love this one as well.
Oh, yes. Some questions coming in whilst you're doing
Yeah,
this, Craig.
go for it.
Tonya says, is there a hybrid that you can use water and alcohol?
Now,
I'm
when
guessing she means like a ink pad.
yeah. Now, there is on the market.
Right.
Now, this is purely personal preference for this
Yep.
one here. I find, even though you get hybrid ink pads that you can then, for instance, we talk about the finesse. Say there was a hybrid finesse ink pad where you can then use either alcohol or watercolour. For me personally, I still find, I've used them in the past, you still get a little bit of bleeding, because that one ink pad, how can it be made, how can it be manufactured so that it's perfect for alcohol or watercolour?
A bit like when you get, like, this might be a wrong analogy, but when you get a bathroom cleaner and a kitchen cleaner, or an
Yeah.
all-in-one cleaner,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really seem to do either job perfectly.
No, exactly.
Yeah, or shampoo, 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. Great
Yeah.
analogy as well.
Really good
So
analogy.
better to have something that's designed specifically to do the job that it's
Yeah.
designed to do.
And I know that time and time again we always go on about how stickler Leanne is for the best, and that is a prime example. Possibly we could have come along with a hybrid ink pad, but Leanne wants you and us to have the best effect. If that means having 2 separate ink pads for you to then alcohol colour or watercolour, then, you know, so be it. And that's what I actually think is key. We give you the proper products for the proper jobs. You're not getting that mix and match. So we don't have it in the range. I know there is ones out there, but again, that's my personal preference or my personal opinion. You don't get as much of a perfect result. Again, that's
Also,
just me.
are you using stamping card or watercolour card?
So for that technique there, what I've done is I have used watercolour card because I've spritzed on with water.
Of course.
So anything water-based, gone and spritzed with water, watercolour card. This one, I'm using watercolour card purely because I had it to the side of me. In actual fact, let's do this, but let's do it onto smooth. And this is just saying to Georgina and Josh, this is literally going to take a minute or two. No.
Also, question, does the foam pad need to be rinsed out after each use, even if you're using it the same colour each time? E.g., it's attached to the bottom of the ink pad.
So, if it's attached to the bottom, so as I say, I've got one for each of my ink pads. No, you don't need to clean it because...
you can just leave it as is.
Leave it as it is, because you're only using that one for the same ink. Now, what you can do as well, because we've got the 3 tones, so we've got honey pot, we've got lemon tonic, and we've got straw bale. Because they're all yellow, what you can do is just use the one for each 3, because it's in the colour family, if that's what you want to do. If you're going to use one for, say, lemon tonic and one for fuchsia, I would, of course, highly recommend washing it out first. But I would, if you can stretch to a couple of packs of refills, then that's going to save you a big job from having to wash them every single time.
Excellent.
And it means
Great
you can
tip.
use them for the light and use them for the darker tones.
Kathy says, you're only as good as the tool you use. Use the best if you want professional results. That's a great tip, Kathy.
It is, it really, really is. So going on with that question there, what I've done is I've chopped over to our white smooth stamping card. And white smooth stamping card is going to be best for doing your blending. Once again, I don't want to confuse anyone, Joe, but if I hadn't have done this spritzing technique, if I only laid down the colour, I would have used white smooth stamping card. Only reason
Some people though would use watercolour card even if they weren't going to use the water, wouldn't they? I mean, it's just a guest personal preference of what works for you, what you've got to hand.
Yeah, Joe, sometimes I use watercolour card for my die cutting and card blank basis because it's got a nice texture to it. It is personal preference. So let's go in now, we'll do this one. Let's go in with pale fig because like you, Joe, I love this technique. So what I'm going to do is I've used inexpensive masking tape. You can use our low tack tape, but what you need to do is de-sticky it off your clothes because it can be quite sticky. So I'm going in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up my colour. So I'm going to go in here, and then I'm going to go back and forwards. I think this one's starting to get a little bit less of ink. So I think
a lot of people still got the originals from when we launched these, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They really, really have. And what I would say as well, Joe, is always store your ink pads upright. You know, store them upright, hence why we've got the trays. If you find that it's starting to get a little bit less ink, it's starting to get dry, at that point, that's when I would store them upside down. So any remaining ink is then going to get sucked to the bottom, which is actually going to be the top then, and then you're going to get some extra ink out of it.
Susan Boyce is asking, can you explain why we don't provide ink refills for ink pads?
That I couldn't actually...
Well, I think, having worked with Leanne, I'm pretty sure that last time I worked with Leanne, Susan, she said that ink pad re-inkers are all good and well, but you cannot replicate the saturation of ink like you can when it's first manufactured. So you would end up with a particularly juicy part of your ink pad, you'd end up with a bit of the ink pad that still wasn't dry, you'd either end up with an oversaturation or an undersaturation of the ink. So it's better for us to make them as cost effective as we possibly can. Yeah. And then you just get that great quality every single time. That was what I recall Leanne saying off the top of my head.
It does make sense, it really does. But then as you pointed out a minute ago, Joe, they last so long. There's people that have got the original ones. I've had all my sets, well, my quick dry and my water reactive I've had since I joined. So that's what, 2.5 years ago? And not one of them I've had to replace.
No.
And you can imagine how many times I use my, at least on a daily basis. So I've not had to replace any of them, nor have I had to turn any of them upside down. But what I'm doing now is I'm just inking within the middle of these strips. And this sort of technique, I wouldn't necessarily go round in circles either. I want to lay down that colour. So we're going to go all the way down. And then what we can then do as well, let's do one more colour. Let's do the grasshopper. So let's ink this one up. And then I'm going to go into this little line here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bit of card as well because I don't want any of the oils from my hands transferring through. So let's go into this bit here, lay down a little bit more colour there, and then at the bottom. And this is good, you can start to do faux mats and layers if you want. You can do fancy shapes, you don't need to do them straight like I've done them. If you want to go fancy angles, then you can. But then by doing this as well, Joe, what you can then do is, actually, we might do that. I might even sneak an extra 20 seconds and do heat embossing to show you afterwards.
You're on a roll, you're loving this, aren't you?
Yeah, I am absolutely
Georgina's trying to wind him up, as in like finish him up on this demo. And Craig's like, and just one more thing, and just one more thing.
Just one more. So we'll reveal this, sprinkle some embossing powder, and then that will be me, I promise. So there we go, let's ink this one up. Ink it up here, that should be more than enough now. So what we can then do, because I've used inexpensive low tack stencil tape, are you ready for this one?
Here we go.
Look
Love
at that.
it. Love those clean, clear, crisp lines.
I do as well. So we've got all them. So even although that masking tape, it's not ours, but I've said it before, you know who it'll be. It Sticks to, the company that I use apart from us. So even though it's not ours, the ink hasn't seeped underneath. It stayed exactly where it needed to go. And then now the prime example as well is showing how you can, if you want, do heat embossing with our water reactive. What we can then do, Joe, is let's go in with a bit of cardstock. I'm going to sprinkle some clear embossing powder over these ones here. Let's give it a little bit of a shake. Let's get some of that ink all the way throughout. So you'll see it's gone more of a subtle powdery look.
Nice though, if you just want that sort of subtle hint of a spark, of a tint, of a shine, that's what I'm looking for in there.
A shine, yeah, absolutely. But then what we can do, let's get this to temp, and I'm pretty sure you're going to see this change really, really easy from up above. So I'm going to start into this top left, we're going to work our way down, and what it's going to do, it's going to melt and make it all nice and shiny.
Shiny!
Look at that. Thank you, George.
I love it. I've never
Perfect.
actually seen the water reactive used to a heat emboss before, you know?
Yeah. So
What a great thing to know that you can do.
it'll work a treat, as I say, to get incredible embossed detail. Our pigment is going to be the best, but please, by all means, use your water reactive for embossing, because I do as well. You've maybe not been able to get pigment just yet. So these are really, really versatile. Any heat embossing, as it melts, we're moving it along. So we're going to go in. And what this does as well is that if you like heat embossing, but you don't want to spend lots of money on lots of different coloured embossing powder, all that you need to do is buy, for instance, these water reactive ink pads, clear embossing powder. Now you've got all of the embossing colours under the sun.
Amazing. Absolutely glorious.
Yeah,
What a brilliant, brilliant technique that is.
There we
And I
go.
love how shiny it is too.
Really shiny, giving that shiny. And what that would also do as well now, Joe, that would create a resist effect. So if I wanted to ink in between
You're not
them
allowed.
now,
We're being,
I'm not
that's
going
it. I mean, no more are we allowed. Shall I, two brilliant techniques, but how different those two techniques as well?
Exactly. That's why I absolutely love the embossing powders. Well, I do, but how I love our water reactive, but just a couple that you can do. So thank you very much, Georgina, for letting me share all of that.
She didn't have much of a choice, really, did she? I mean, that's it. You were off. You'd gone rogue. Right, let me show you what you're getting in there. 13 ink pads in here. Ocean blue, the orange. You're also getting the pale fig as well. The sandstorm, seal brown, spring meadow. You've then got oasis. Why did I say that really weird? Oasis, baby blue, fuchsia, I'm not going back, Craig, grasshopper, honey pot, and the lemon tonic as well. And the great thing is, I know we've had really patchy supply of a lot of our ink pads for a while now, all of them pretty much back in stock, so it means that we're able to bring you these larger collections for the first time in a long time, but we're also able to put some of the absolute best-selling projects, best-selling colours in there for you as well. I want to go back to the project planner, this week's hero tool. Not only are you going to get one of these, no, you're going to get two of them, which is fantastic. Maybe one to keep for yourself, one to give to a friend. Let's not. I mean, you're never going to do that, are you? You're going to keep both of them for yourself, because they're going to enable you to get really well organised, which I know you're going to love. Let me show you what you're going to do with this once it's full. So we've got one here, and we've just basically used it for scraps and offcuts. Maybe you love the idea of Tiffany's scrap rack, but you don't have the space or the budget for one. These are great, because they're kind of like a mini version of that for you. Split into two different designs. This is upside down. That's upside down, Joe. Here we go. What you've got in here, the three-ring binder itself. Now, this is a brilliant quality three-ring binder, so if you've got any other A4 magnetic or acrylic panels for your dies or your stamps, you can actually clip some of these in here alongside some of your collections. Mariah was actually saying earlier how you can fit a whole Sarah signature collection into one of these, because of course these pockets, yes, they can be used for offcuts and scraps. You know, you've got a kind of what, a 6x12 here, a 6x6 as well, a slightly smaller one here, 6x4. But of course, you could be putting stamps in there, you could put in dies in there, your maybe your die cut elements as well. Also, the other great thing, each one of these pockets double-sided, but they've also got this slip pocket on the inside, so excellent for saving your 12x12 papers in there. Maybe you've got projects that you're working on, you want to save those in there, you can do that as well. The back side of each pocket has got another 12x12 deep gusseted pocket within there too, so you can get dimensional projects in there should you wish. You get 3 of those included. Then this side here as well, you've got a really nice big heavy duty gusseted 12x12 size page there, so really awesome. Nice elastication there as well. That elastication means it helps to keep it nice and stable, which is excellent, and you can label these up. Go for a few of these. I mean, at this price, while you've got them on this price as a duo, absolutely use it as a time to stock up. Maybe you want to store all of your Sarah signature collections in here. Maybe you can have a dedicated one of these for your Nature's Garden collection, because not only would you be able to store your collections in here, you'd be able to store your projects in progress in here as well at the same time. I think they're excellent. If you want to go for them, $27.18 or $33.98 for platinum members. Very, very busy on those. Actually, do you know what? I think we best give you an opportunity to check out your baskets on those. It's very, very busy. Then we're going to come back and have a look at the statement words as well. Here's all the details on US shipping.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges, and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95, and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members, who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
All the details there on US shipping. Very, very busy. Lots of you checking out on that hero tool there. Let's go back. I want to share with you the statement words. Now, these are brilliant because we have got freebies galore in this particular collection. Let me share with you what you're getting. Now, these are brilliant if you want to sort of chop them out. Chop sounds like a very aggressive term, doesn't it? Snip them out. Use them as a topper. Or, because of the way the dies are designed, you can actually use these as your card concept themselves. So this could be the entire card, or you can mount this onto or as part of a larger project. It's completely up to you. So you've got hello in here. You'll also receive friend, thanks, you've got love, and you've also got happy in there as well. That's what you're paying for, right? Check out all the freebies though, because each and every one of these words has a stencil designed to go with it. So in here, you get the stars, which is excellent. You then have the zigzags. How much is that? Free. The bubbles.
How much is
circles. Them ones are free as well. The leaves, not paying for those. Or the hearts. In fact, you're not even going to pay for the sentiments as well. You get all the stencils and the sentiments totally free of charge when you buy the dies, which is brilliant. And obviously, if you're a member of Club Inspire, which everyone is, you're not even paying for the dies. Platinum members picking this up for $64.76 or $72.60. Which is absolutely excellent. I love that. Craig, these are fantastic, aren't they? Whether you're using them as a concept, whether you're just using it as a statement word, something you're going to be able to get a lot of use out of.
They are, yeah, and we're waiting to do this. Can we just quickly go for up above, that background that we've done? What I done, Joe, is I cut out with a number, 16.
Oh, awesome.
Put it onto a bit of black card, that could be a card blank, and then there's your card.
Amazing.
And I've still got these
You're
little...
just doing a little bit of just on the cuff crafting.
Just, yeah, just while I was listening
I love it,
to
not
you.
a demo, you're just sort of having a play over there.
Just a play, and I've still got the numbers in that background colour as well that
Sweet
you could
16.
be using elsewhere. So just to show that's how you could be using your backdrops. But here we go, let's have a look at this one here. Now we're going to go in with love. Now what I've done is I've got a piece of black card. Now it's big enough so that it's going to hold our love die. And what I've also done, or what's also within the die, there's no cutting edge along the top. So what I'm going to do, pop it onto my card, and then I'm going to push up just up until we see that the top of the die goes over the edge of your card blank. So we can then go in. So as I say, the card blank, this isn't a specific size. I've done it so that it's big enough that it's at least going to hold this love. And then what we can do is we can run it through. Now this 2 layers of 300 GSM, so I am going to add my metal shim, simply because when we done our first demo with the cut-in numbers, because that had 300 GSM and it had 310 GSM, you know, it was just catching that little bit. So therefore, I'm going to then go in with my metal shim, because it's 2 layers. So we can then remove this one. So if we peel that out the way, what this then gives us, Joe, is a card blank that says love, that you can see here. So we've got our nice little card blank. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with some white cardstock, and for this one I'm going to bring in the love die. Now for this one here, because Jan has prepped all of these ones for me, she's popped in some watercolour card. But what I'm going to do is I'm still going to use the watercolour card, but I'm not going to do any kind of like water-based technique. We'll do a very quick bit of blending using the stencil. So as you were saying earlier, Joe, it's a little bit of personal preference. I'm not doing any water spritzing, so you could be using the watercolour card or the smooth stamping card for what I'm away to do. But I'll just use watercolour card because that's what I've got. So let's come in with the fuchsia. And then what I've done is I've taken the stencil that coordinates the love die. Now, each of the dies has kind of like a coordinated stencil, but you can mix and match. You can use whatever stencil for whatever sentiment you want. But what we can then do is we can take this one out. Let's poke it out into here. Now, I like to die cut the word and then stencil. But if you wanted to stencil a big bit of cardstock first and then die cut, you can do.
I guess if you did it the other way around as well, would you end up with quite a fabulous bit of waste as well the other way around?
You would do, absolutely. If you do it that way, what would happen is, your bit of waste that we can see here, that would have your stenciled backdrop all the way around.
It's a very special day for Amanda Flores. Her Gemini machine just arrived.
Amazing.
Which one have you gone for, Amanda? Let us know.
It'd be good to hear. Something really, really exciting when we hear people get their Geminis.
Absolutely.
Because we know that you're not going to be going back anymore when it comes to your die cutting. You've got the best of the best. And that's me even saying that even before I started working here. All of my Geminis I bought.
The thing is with the Gemini machines, I mean, the amount of people that work for, maybe even some people that are paid to promote other die cutting machines out there in the wider crafty community, you know, well-known demonstrators.
They do
that
indeed.
some of you will be aware of, who maybe promote other machines, actually go home and use a Gemini in their own craft room. So
they do.
That says it all really for me.
And I can tell you one who loves to use that's the team at Hunky Dory at head office. They use our Gemini for all of their die cutting that they do with their dies that they've got. So what I'm going to do now, again, a little bit for speed, but I'm going to go in with my tacky glue. So we can see we've got our inked front there. We've got love with all the love hearts. So we can be using our tape runner or your adhesive of choice. But I am going to go in with my tacky glue with a fine applicator because it's very, very quick. So we can go in with this one. We're going to pop that one over the top and into the centre. And then we're going to press. And even then, Joe, because I've used water reactive fuchsia, I could have gone in with my embossing powders and made the hearts nice and sparkly.
Oh yeah.
Could do that. And then within that stamp set that Joe showed you, I've already stamped out the word send in. So what we can then do is then we can come in, I'm going to pop it at an angle there and there I'm going to pop it here, press it into place, and that's all that I'm going to do with this one. So you think of all the different looks that you can start to achieve depending on the stencil that you use, depending on the colour that you use. So quick. If you're going to be making a few bob out of these, you're going to be able to really start to create that conveyor belt of your cards using all these big words. And what's good is usually with a card, you have the decoration, then you have the sentiment. For these, the sentiment is the decoration and the decoration is the sentiment. Done.
Absolutely love it. I think they're fantastic. Would you like to get us set up for the card of the show, Craig?
I'll
just remind everyone exactly what they're getting in here and also what they're paying for and what they're getting for free, which is excellent. So you are paying for the dies in the collection, and remember what you're getting in here. They are a brilliant concept. There is a craft along on these, I believe, over on our website actually, and there was a launch day for them as well. So you've got hello, friend, thanks, love, and happy. Have you been watching Love Island, Craig?
No, I usually
thought that was right up your Strasser, to be honest.
It usually is, but I got into about the first week and there was something that wasn't drawing me back to it, so I've not been watching. But apparently,
I have issue with that show generally, but I got sucked in 1 year for about half a season, and I just vowed I couldn't do it again. Right, let me move on, because you're getting the words, you're paying for those. What you're not paying for and getting it for free, though, the stars, the zigzags, the circles, you've got the leaves in there as well, the hearts, and of course you've got all of those fantastic sentiments in there as well, which can all be mixed and matched and curated to create exactly what you want to say. 64.76 or 72.60 as platinum members, off the chart value for money. Right, demo of the show, I'm
actually going to include that one that I just done with that background because I was able to explain how I done it. So here we go. So number one that we done using the cut-in numbers. Number two with the window reveal. Then we done a little segment with the water reactive, and I very quickly made this card here. So that's number three. And then number four with our large shaped word dies that you can see down here. So you've got the choice of four tonight.
1, 2, 3, 4. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion. Go now. Go now. Go now. You've got 5 minutes to vote. Go and get your vote in. Make it count. Amanda's got back to me. She's only got the Gemini Pro, Craig. Shut the front door. Oh, my. Miss USA Lady says she has all of the Geminis except the Mini. Well, the Mini's on a Get It, Got It Good. I mean, it sounds like you need to complete the family to me. More pictures coming in as well, which I absolutely love. Let's have a look at them. So Elisa has sent this one into us. Love this one. Thank you so much for this, Elisa. Oh, she's done that one. She's done one of the puzzles as well. So what's she done there, Craig? She stamped onto the mount board, coloured it, and then used the puzzle to cut it out. Or she printed onto the mount board.
So it could have been a couple of options. Yes, you could have stamped straight onto the mount board and colour.
Is that a Santoro stamp?
It's a Santoro stamp, yeah. Or could have done it onto white card, then stuck it onto the mount board and then die cut it. But either way, that's a cracking card.
Absolutely gorgeous. Pam sent this one in as well. Oh, what a happy little hodgehog. What's a hodgehog? A hedgehog. That's what I was trying to say. Look.
That's so cool.
Oh, adorable. That's like me
cool.
trying to get out of bed in the morning, that one there.
It's like me as well.
Rolling around. Oh, I took a photo of my... one more to share with you as well. Renee Deshawn sent this one in. Oh, I love that, Craig. Love the zigzag stencil use there as well. Actually, do you know what I think is really cool on a shaker card? Plain cardstock over a pattern cardstock.
Yeah.
You know, because so often it would be the other way, wouldn't it? It would be with the pattern cardstock on the front and the plain in the back. Yep. This is a great way of using it as well. Thank you so much to everyone that sent their pictures into us. Right, we're going to move on. We're going to have a little look now at the reveal the setup. Now, the reveal the setup is this one on its own, just here. So it's this die element just there. And basically what you get within there is you get the worker element, and then you also get these elements just here. That's what comes within the reveal the setup. So I'll change the details for you, so it's just to reveal the setup on its own. Here we go. $24.99 or $29.95. You can use these stamps with this particular configuration, or bring in your own smaller size photos as well. Is another great way of using it. $19.99, $23.96 if you are a platinum member. What we'll do, Craig, is if you get this underway, and then as soon as I get the card of the show in, I'll pause you and we'll do the card of the day, if that's right.
That sounds good to me.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Here we
Oh,
go.
demo of the show, number 2.
Oh, number 2, fab. I've got them set out to the side anyway.
There we are.
Brilliant, that's great. So I know Joe's going to be showing you that just in a second. You want to show it now, Joe?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's go for it. We will do that.
So, demo number 1 from Wake Up Call with Craig. Demo number 2 from Launch Day with Jan. Or demo number 3 from Creative Cravings with Craig. 1, 2, 3. You've got 4 or 5 minutes. Go now. Crafts TV on Facebook, Crafts Companion on YouTube. Brilliant, Craig. Sorry about that.
No, don't apologise. We need to do that. It's key for all of our shows. What we're going to do is we're going to skip sections. So to see how it is going to come together, go back to later on Creative Cravings, forgot where I was for a minute there, or with Jan on Wake Up Call. So using the reveal setup, I've done exactly what I'd done earlier on, white smooth stamping card, I've die cut the 2 workers. Then what I've done is using reveal the mighty oak, I've gone in and I've stamped the 2 images. So the first one there with the squirrel, it's raining and he's got the acorns in his hands. Then we've got this one here with the trees that you can see here on that one there. So I've stamped them ones out. So exactly the same way as I done in the first demo earlier on today on Creative Cravings. So then what I'm going to do is let's take that little bit out here. And then I'm going to then burnish the edge. Let's take that bit out. So I need to prise that out that little bit more. So we're going to go in, so let's take it out, if we can get hold of it, there we go. So that's just got these ones, so let's fold it, I'm going to just give that a little bit of a neaten up, there we go. And then we can do these edges as well. So if we do these edges, we can then, actually I'm not going to stick this one, because what Jan has done and left for me, that is how it would be once it's stamped out. But then using some of your tri-blends, to be more specific, Jan used the red brown, the citrus green, dull green, blue turquoise, muted brown and burnt orange to colour these ones here. So once again, this is where I'm going to then fold, and then we can go in with these bits to the side there and then there. Give it a bit of a burnish, making sure that you've got a nice fine sharp edge. So let's press that into place. And by all means as well, anything like this or anything with a score line, if you want to enhance it a little bit more on your scoreboard, you can do. If you find it easier to give an additional pressure of score line, then go for it. So I'm going to open these ones out, going to go in with our 3mm red liner tape. Can use tacky glue if you want. You will need to hold it down slightly till it's dry. So we can come in here and then we can snip that one away. So what I'm then going to do is let's feed that one underneath into here. So I'm going to get it as close to the top as it's going to go, and then I'm going to tuck it in. So I'm going for this top one at the back and this top one at the front, tucking it in, simply tucking in. We can go into the second, we can go into the third, and then we can go into the fourth, and I'm making sure that they're tucked in at each side, which they are. So then what I'm going to do, let's take this one off. So take that one off, we can take that one off, and I'm still going to follow Jan's little tip. I'm going to add a little bit, not much, but what that'll do is that will stop the inside worker from potentially falling out when you're using it. So making sure that none of that is stuck to the adhesive. That was the issue that Jan had this morning. So that's that one. So let's fold that in on itself and then press. So it's all nicely lined up. We're going to do the same on this side here. So we're going to press, work our way along, making sure it's nice and secure, including the bottom where we've popped our tape. So we can then see that we've got a reveal. How cool is that? Super cool. So then what I would do is I'd come along with a bit of a card blank, some layers from Woodland Animal, and then what I'll do is I'll layer up the way Jan's done it, and then I'll show you her finished card, using the die as well as the aperture die.
It's a great opportunity to craft this,
It
isn't
is. Within the set as well, we can layer these ones up, add a wee bit more decoration. All this die cutting is exactly the same as what was done within the first demo, but really conscious about wanting to show you this one before we run out of time. And then a few other little bits of embellishments that Jan's done for me, and then even a tab at the top, and then you can see once you properly secure it, what you've got is a fun and cute 6x6 card with the window reveal that says thank you for helping me grow. How cool is that?
Love
that one.
cool. From a
There we
nut
go.
to a mighty acorn.
Exactly, absolutely.
Let me share with you the card of the day. It's number 1, Craig. It's card of the day. I thought it was going to be number 3.
So number 1.
Number 1. You're a winner, baby. It's going onto the cabinet of
baby.
creativity, which is amazing. Remember what you're getting though. So you can either go for the Reveal the Window stamp and die selection, all of it. So Reveal the Window is going to get you the worker die and also this selection of stamps and dies as well, which you can see just there. So you get that. Then if you go for the full setup, the whole shebang, you then get the other elements in there as well. So you're going to get the other 5 themes of stamps and dies. So you're going to get Reveal the Gift, Reveal the Mighty Oak, Reveal the Feathers, Reveal the Bubbles, and Reveal the Butterfly. You get absolutely all of it, which is fantastic. $47.95, $63.76, a really accessible price for such a strong, interesting concept that you're going to be able to do so much with. Let me remind you of some of the other stuff that you've seen in this show and you've absolutely adored. Here's those cutting numbers now. $29.99 or $39.95 is what you should be paying for the cut-in numbers on their own. However, we're going to give you the sentiments as well, the cut-in sentiments, which are going to enable you to really finish off and complete a full themed project with them. And you're getting them free of charge, which is excellent. Less than £24 or $32 for Club Inspired Platinum members, which is also brilliant value. We've got the Shape Word die collection here as well. 35 elements in here. You're paying for those sentiment dies, but remember, you're getting all the stencils and the sentiment stamps totally free of charge within there as well, which is excellent. Don't forget about that incredible ink pad demonstration that Craig gave us, really taking it back to basics and showing you exactly what you can do with these incredible ink pads, and a brilliant price for you, a great deal considering you've got some of your all-time favourite colours in there as well, which is excellent. So do snap those up, £40 or $56 as Platinum members. If you are just getting started in crafting, or you're new to us here at Crafters Companion and you're really looking to build your stash when it comes to adhesives, these are going to let you do that, because in here, some of our all-time hero products. You've got your 3D glue gel, your tacky glue, your all-purpose glue, your red liner tape, and of course your low-tack tape in there as well. So everything you need to get you started, and a juicy 20% saving, which is awesome. Now I want to come back and just share with you again very quickly the project planner and what this is, what you're getting included in here. You're going to get 2 of these. Now they are an awesome 3-ring binder firstly. Means that anything else which is on a standard 3-ring binding, you can actually pop those into here as well. 2 6x12 pockets in here on this side in the front, deep gusseted, so you can get things like gems, embellishments, pokey tools, rulers, stencils maybe if you want to, whole host of stuff you can get into there. Then each pocket is double-sided, 12x12 one side, selection of different sizes this side, but it's also got this sort of slip on the inside of here as well. So it means that you're going to be able to store a load of stuff on the inside, which I think is ingenious. I really do. You get 3 of those. This side you're also getting a really awesome 12x12 deep gusseted pocket, and it all has the elastic around there to keep it together for you. The elastic basically means that it stops the pages splitting, and it's when the pages sort of splay that they end up going a bit wonky. So it's going to keep it all nice and straight for you. You are getting 2 in this configuration as well, so it's a duo for that amazing price that you can see there, $33.98 or $42.48. Don't forget, Tomorrow is a brand new day here on Crafters TV. It's going to be a wake-up call first, Craig. It's your show, so why don't you tell us what's happening?
Well, I'll do that. Okay, let's tell you. So we have got, me and Joe, all day tomorrow. So tomorrow is, of course, wake-up call starting off. We're going to be having a look at the brand new launch that me and Joe are going to be giving you. It's all about the wobblers. That's going to be a lot of fun. Then what we're also going to do is we're going to cherry pick a couple of items that are coming up within Cartload as well. Before we went live, I seen the price of the wobblers. Oh my gosh.
Someone's going to be throwing a wobbler when they see that price.
They are, yeah. So let's just hope Sarah doesn't see it, or even Simon for that matter. And then what we're also going to do is cherry pick a few items that's coming up within Cartload as well. So thank you so much for, keeping me company, letting me come back.
Oh, super substitution. It really, really was. Jan, I know, had a bit of a... she was like the Little Mermaid. She was just losing her voice a little bit, wasn't it? She hadn't sold it, though. Don't worry, she'll be back with it on Saturday. So she'll be back here then. But big thanks to Craig stepping in at the last minute to cover Jan. Big thanks to you guys as well, because without you, I mean, we wouldn't be here. No. John and Tracy, they've been adequate. Georgina and George, they were fabulous. I'm joking. They were amazing, as they always were. They weren't just adequate. They kept us going in tea alone for that reason. I mean, the whole place had come crumbling to an absolute halt. If it wasn't for the cups of tea. A big thanks to George and Nina as well next door. We'll be back here, myself and Craig, all day. It's Joe and Craig Day. We'll see you there tomorrow. Bye.
Toodles.